Good morning, VBS crew. This is Pastor Aaron here. Excited that VBS is going to be starting in just a week. It's kind of crazy. I've been planning since last October, actually, is when I started, and it's exciting to see it starting to come together. Kimberly Robbins and I have been working very hard on this, as well as many other volunteers, preparing, and praying that we would have a fun VBS, but also a Christ-centered VBS, and that we would get the gospel in the hands of kids who need it. Just want to say thank you real quick to my volunteers. You guys are great. Even if you can only come for one day, we need you, and we love that you have this passion to serve the kids of Maranatha and the kids of Rice Lake. We could not do this without you. We did not have to put any sort of cap on VBS this year because we had so many great volunteers, which is so great to not have to turn any families away, and we are excited to get going next week. Just to go over a few things, again, VBS, June 21st through the 25th, Monday through Friday. You might have noticed it says that it starts at 9:15. That's when the doors open for registration and check-in for the kids who are coming. But leaders, I need you there half hour before that. Please be there at 8:45. I need leaders, again, be there at 8:45. This will give you time to check in with me, check in with the team. We're going to pray, hopefully, beforehand. You'll grab your name tag. Our group leaders will grab their clipboards and signs and get ready to welcome the kids and for everything they need for that day. You should be able to leave probably about 12:20. Just don't leave before any kids are left. If you need to, leave early at any point, just let me know or Kimberly Robbins know, and also your group leader know that you need to be leaving early. Everything you need will be ready for you in the gym, set up name tags if you haven't picked up your shirts yet, and the daily schedule for our group leaders. We're going to go ahead and jump into who's where. Some people already know where they are. Some people requested. I did my best to put people where they asked to be, but obviously we can't have all our eggs in one basket and all our leaders in one area, so some of you had to get moved around. Just to start off with, we do offer childcare for our leaders, which is so great. Kathy Simone stepped up and actually requested evening shifts so she could be there every day of VBS. So Kathy Simone will be our main leader for that time for our adult volunteers' children. That'll be kids from birth to those who are not quite old enough for Vacation Bible School. And she'll be joined by Amber Cargis, Christine Carlson, and Hallie Freitag. That will be in room 104, which is normally the 2s and 3s room. It's the second door on the left in the Ministry Center hallway. The next group, kindergarten through first grade, will be led by Aaron Herringer. That group will also have Shauna Schweitzer, Autumn Cargis, Rovelyn Sedgebricht, Reese Schiltz, Emmy Bell, Sharon Helt, Julia Odor, Kiera Schubel, and Jessica Margan. And that will be the group of kindergarten through first graders. They'll be busy because you'll have kids who are entering kindergarten in the fall, so you'll have some young ones. Make sure those guys stay contained. They'll be the most excited ones to be there for sure. The next group is the second and third grade class. That'll be led by Amber Bay. And the other volunteers in that group will be Pastor Eric, Kimberly Zimmerman, Nicole Cargis, Danny Bigner, and Krista Raffco. And again, if you ever have any questions about where you are, this will be in the gym on a list. And if we need to move you, we'll come get you and let you know. The fourth and fifth grade class will actually be led by two women, Ashley Baltz and Amber Here. They are great high-level volunteers for our Wednesday night programming, and we're excited to have them aboard. The other volunteers in that class will be Barbara Odor, Leisha Snyder, Brittany Beer, and Angel Woroff. These people, some of them have volunteered in the past, and some this is their first time, so be excited to welcome them and get them excited about VBS. As far as crafts go, we have Megan Peterson leading our craft time, and we're super excited she's on board. Also, Abigail Herringer, Rachel Robinson, Tina Hayes, Josie Bucher, Julie Minen, and Christy Barkley. That'll be our crafts, again, led by Megan Peterson. Justin Peterson, her husband, will be running games, and the people who will be with him will be Daniel Edwards, Zachary Edwards, Connor Carlson, Bethany Bigner, Katie Schiltz, and Jay Bergson. These are great youth that have stepped up to assist us, and Justin specifically requested that he get middle schoolers to work with, so he is excited to be with you guys. Lastly will be our registration team, led by Leanne Schiltz. Also with her will be Rachel Robinson and Kate Hill. Just to go over some other things as far as placement and locations go, Suzette Thompson will be our main teacher. Kimberly Robbins and I will also be doing some of the teaching. As I said, Leanne will be leading registration, and Pastor Cody will be leading our security for the week. He'll be at the welcome desk in the ministry center, just kind of roaming around, making sure everything is how it should be. There will also be roamers. Myself, Kimberly Robbins, and Leanne Schiltz will be roaming around with walkie-talkies, just making sure everyone is where they need to be. We don't have any suspicious visitors, making sure no incidents occur, that kind of thing. In the event you need something, those 3 people are the ones allowed to make decisions. Again, myself, Kimberly Robbins, Leanne Schiltz, and also, actually, I should include with that Pastor Cody, in case something happens. We'll have walkie-talkies roaming around that we can quickly get a hold of each other. If you ever need anything, if something happens and it's an emergency situation, if it requires it, call 911, get an ambulance or a police officer there quickly. If it's something a little less than that, you can call my cell phone. My phone number is 231-590-8202. Please have that in your phone, and as well as Kimberly Robbins' phone number. If you don't have that, you can get that the morning of Vacation Bible School. For locations, everything will be happening in a pretty close area to each other. The check-in will be right in the ministry center. There, as soon as kids walk in, there'll be a table. Parents and kids can check in there with Leanne and her team. Then they'll go back to the main assembly, which will be located kind of side by side to the gym. So they'll go through the gym doors, and it'll be in the L shape by cold storage and the gym, again, through those side gym doors. Craft will happen in the gym. Games will be out on the back lawn. Lessons for the Bible stories will happen in the tree room. Snack will happen at the back door of the fellowship hall, right next to the game time area. So snacks will take up the last 5 minutes or so of games. And again, nursery is in room 104 for our adult volunteer childcare team. For rotation's sake, if you're in a specific age group, you'll be rotating around through the various activities. Everyone will start in the main assembly behind the gym. That'll be where we sing songs, kind of get a welcome to VBS, and then eventually get dismissed. Each rotation lasts about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the age group and what needs to happen for them. One thing I do ask is that normally our kids are pretty well behaved, but a big chance to misbehave is when they're traveling between their different rotation locations. So make sure they're a single file line. You can say, hey, whoever's the most quiet gets to do this next time, or maybe ask questions about what they just did or what their favorite craft was. Just keep them engaged and get them from point A to point B so that we don't lose their focus. Another thing, all leaders, please count your kids constantly. I know I listed who are the main leaders of the group, but they will be busy making sure you guys are getting to and from places in a timely order. You will have a list of kids who are in your group who have already registered, and then you'll need to add them in as they come. So you'll need to write some names down as they come in. But people always make sure you have all of your kids. Maybe a good way of doing it would be splitting up 3 kids per leader in your group or something like that, just making sure each kid is accounted for. Bathroom breaks. These are pretty much, unless it's an emergency, only are going to happen during the transition time. So if you're going from games to craft or craft to snack, that's when those need to happen. You can ask who needs to go to the bathroom. It makes it easier for our leaders so they don't have to explain things twice, and also makes it so there isn't as a distracting time, especially during our Bible stories. So please make sure those only happen during the transition time when you're going between things. Just some general things to know. We are doing a fundraiser for the Pregnancy Help Center. Kids will be bringing in wipes, diapers, baby oil, all that stuff during the week. They'll be split up according to their age group, and there'll be a special prize at the end of the week of something special they'll get to do. involving water balloons, and so encourage your kids to bring in those kind of things, and there'll be information on that goes home with the kids on the first day. Another thing to know is that there'll be a verse of the day. So Kimberly and I will do a little skit introducing that in the morning, and you guys are encouraged to work on that throughout the day if you have any extra transition time. And there'll be a verse card sent home with the kids, and if they memorize, they come back next morning. They can say it there'll be a little station in the registration area. They can say it and get a piece of candy. Be looking out for most valuable players, MVPs. Be looking out for kids who behave really well, who do things for other kids. Hold the door open. Help them with a craft. Help them. Be really encouraging during game time. Whatever it may be, report those to Kimberly Robbins, me, or Leanne Schiltz. Just let us know what kid it is and how it happened. Try and pick 1 or 2 per your age group. If there's several, that's awesome. And they'll get recognized during the end assembly. We'll get those names, and they'll get something special to take home. There's always bottled water available at each station, whether you're at games, crafts, Bible lesson, wherever you may be, there is bottled water available at each of those stations. Volunteers, just be careful about this because our kids will be like, oh, I want a water bottle, I want a water bottle. So make sure you if the kids need water, get it during transition time. They will get it during snack time. Just make sure you stay hydrated. And if you take a water bottle, take it with you from station to station so you're not leaving them behind. Just something as a little thank you, on Friday, I will be feeding all of you guys lunch, so we'll be ordering some pizza and lemonade and all that good stuff, and just hanging out after Vacation Bible School on the last day, talking about how the week went. Nothing super formal, just stay, hang out. Leaders, bring your kids. They'll be with you, obviously, from the day. If you have any neighbors' kids, just let me know so we can get an accurate number count. And that's a way of us saying thank you. Another way we're saying thank you is leaders with kids especially. We have a very generous donor from who is a friend of Tony Nord, who's coming up to do some ministry projects in the area, and he's bringing up his youth group to do those. And with that, he's actually bringing a bunch of inflatables, so like some bounce houses and some other cool things for kids to play in. So that'll be available the Friday after VBS. After we eat lunch, you guys can stay, hang out, just relax, enjoy some fun time after a hard week of work. And that will only be available to volunteers, so please don't bring that up, obviously, in your regular group time. Maybe even keep that as a surprise for your own kids as well. Lastly, we're going to go through policies and procedures, just some normal things that we have at Maranatha Kids that I want to make you aware of so that we can run a safe ministry here. Every adult should go through a background check. I believe most adults already have. If you have not, contact me. Excuse me. I'm getting tired already from VBS. Make sure you go through a background check. The way that happens is, as you sign up, I've hopefully sent you one or ran you through the system again. It won't be an email from me. It'll be an email from, I think it's called securemyministry.com, and it shouldn't go to your spam. It usually goes right to your main inbox. You'll have to fill that out, and once it gets filled out, I'll get that info. I'll run you through, make sure you are a safe person to be around our kids, and we will go on from there with our volunteers. Another thing is, please wear your Vacation Bible School shirt and your name tag at all times. This lets us know who you are. This lets us know that you're supposed to be with our kids in that way. It's a quick way of letting us know, hey, they belong. We will have probably some parents, especially with their younger kids, who maybe the parents don't feel comfortable or the kids don't feel comfortable without mom or dad. So we'll get some approved parent name tags for them to wear while they're going around through the various activities. If you ever see someone without a name tag, even if they're wearing a shirt, please ask them, hey, where's your name tag? Where are you supposed to be? If they seem kind of weird about it, contact myself, Kimberly Robbins, or Leanne Schiltz. Never leave your group unless it's some sort of emergency. I understand we have some moms who might need to go feed their kids, or kids might be unruly in other areas, but please, for the most part, don't leave your groups unless you're asked to by myself or one of our leaders that you need to go to a different group. If you need to go to the bathroom, just give your main leader a heads up, need some water, whatever, just give them a heads up so they know where you are and be back as soon as you can. Again, in the event of an emergency, depending on the level of emergency, you might need to call the police or ambulance, but also call me so I know what's going on. Because I need to be able to fill out reports for the church side of things, as I'm in charge of this ministry. Along with that, incident reports will be available at the front desk, and Kimberly Robbins, Leanne Schiltz, and I will be walking around with those. If something happens as related to an injury, maybe it's a kid actually even saying some stuff is going on at home. If a kid says someone touched them in a weird way, anything like that needs to be come to me and Kimberly Robbins. We'll go through that with you. Don't feel weird about it. It's something that we need to know about. We'll fill out an incident report and make sure that kid is cared for. Volunteer bathrooms. As I said, the bathrooms in the minute, I don't know if I said this actually. The volunteer bathrooms will be in the church building or in the soul garage. The ministry center bathrooms will be for kids only. That is so we can keep our kids safe. Please still, when you're escorting kids through to the bathroom, leave 2 volunteers probably behind. If you're going to a different activity, and have them kind of stand near the doorway, make sure everything's okay, and then be on your way. But never be a one-on-one with a child. Always have another volunteer with you, especially when taking them to the bathroom. This is mostly for kindergarten, first grade class, but do not let kids sit on laps unless it's mom or dad, and even then, please try to refrain from that as much as you can. This keeps our ministry accountable and keeps us. It doesn't provide for any accusations that might come up. Again, if there's an incident, see me, and we will take care of that. First aid supplies. Every group will have some Band-Aids. If you need something more than that, Pastor Cody will be at the ministry center desk, and he can help you with those kind of things. Thank you for volunteering for Vacation Bible School. If you have any questions about Vacation Bible School, maybe it's our policies and procedures. Maybe you didn't hear your name when I was listing that. I updated that list this morning, and I probably have gotten a couple more volunteers. Please contact me. Ask me where you are. There'll be a list Monday morning of where you're supposed to be. Thank you, volunteers, and I'm excited to get started next week.